Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Yasmin. I am back with another video, and in this video, I'm going to be retrying the Conspiracy Palette. The reason why I want to re-film the video is because I was getting a lot of comments in my first review that people wanted me to use a lighter base and a white base and try packing the color on, and people want me to try it again. So I totally will, and I totally understand where you guys are coming from. A lot of people did think that I didn't use a base or I didn't prime, but I always use a concealer to prime my lids, always, and that always works for me. And that's what I know a lot of people do as well. So it just kind of sucks because if you're paying $52 for a palette, for somebody, if they don't have that kind of money to spend sparingly like that, and then they have to buy a base on top of that, it kind of sucks because all of my other palettes work fairly well with just concealer. And also, guys, I'm recording on a MacBook, so the pigment and the true color of things really does not show up, and I'm so sorry for that. I'm so sorry that I can't have an actual camera. I'm saving up for one so that I can get you guys quality content. If you guys just stick with me, we will push through, and I will give you guys exactly what you want and what you need. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and try this out again. I actually want to do a comparison. I want to do Conspiracy on one eye, and I want to do Tati Beauty on one eye. The only reason why I'm doing this is because I saw Patrick Starr do it, and he did come up with a similar look. So, and someone also did request that I do that. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the Tati Beauty palette again. I already have a review up of this palette on my channel. This is what Tati Beauty looks like. And then let me show you guys what Conspiracy looks like. Alright, and here we have Conspiracy. I'm going to open her up, and this is what she looks like. As you can see, it's messy. I did do some damage to it. But we're going to try it again. I mean, like I said in my previous video of the Conspiracy palette, the shimmers are fine. It's just some of the mattes were patchy and were weird, and I wasn't getting a lot of pigment. So we'll go ahead and try it again. I'll try some different colors. I'm still going to use the black, but I will try different colors. Full disclaimer, I am still going to use a concealer. I do not have a white eye primer. Honestly, I shouldn't have to need one. Concealer always works. And I do use a shade lighter. I'm going to use the Jouer one because it is pretty full coverage and it is really pigmented. So the one that I used, the Conspiracy palette, I think was Tarte Shape Tape. Yeah, it was Tarte Shape Tape. So I'm going to go ahead and use the Jouer because it's a little bit more coverage and it has a little bit more pigment to it. If I'm still getting really weird patchiness and it's not blending how I want to with the concealer using this again, I will go ahead and go out and buy the Anastasia primer and use that and try it again for the fourth time. Yeah. Another thing why I'm very hesitant on buying such a light base too with my complexion is when you put a primer that's that light on somebody of my complexion, and if you don't go all the way up and all over the primer, you're going to see that whiteness, and when you take flash photos or even when you take a regular photo, your eyes look, you can still see that white peeking through, and it just doesn't look good on our skin tone. So I'm going to try it with another concealer, the Jouer, because it has more pigment and it's more full coverage and it is a little bit lighter. I'm going to try it with this one. If it still doesn't work out, I will give it another shot with the Anastasia one. I will go out and buy that one and then try it again. And if it doesn't work again, then I don't know what to tell y'all, because I tried everything. I'm gonna go ahead and prime with the Jouer concealer in the shade Rich Ginger. So how is everyone doing? I feel like I never asked that, so I want to ask it today. I am doing okay. I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I am currently enrolled in college and classes. I'm full-time. Classes are hard, but gotta push through. Now that I have that on, I'm going to just lightly dust a white powder on top, so that way it's even more bright. I'm gonna go ahead and actually take my pills in the Jeffree Star palette and pack that ever so slightly on the lid. Perfect. And then for the Tati Beauty side, I'm gonna go into, can't even open the palette. Okay, I'm gonna go into Aurora, which is this white shade right here. Perfect. Okay. So in my Tati palette review, I did a cut crease, and I think I'm going to do the same here. So I'm going to go ahead and start off with that black and map out my crease with a small angled brush. Okay, diving into the Jeffree Star palette, and I'm going to go ahead and take my Rides Here, which is this black shade in the palette. And I'm going to go ahead and start to map out my crease with a small angled brush. This is what we're looking like with the black just packed on. I haven't blended anything yet. Looks pretty good actually. Only blending it out will tell. So I'm going to go ahead and take a JS 1-2, and I'm dipping into that Not a Fact shade, which is this one right here. And I'm going to dip into that and start to blend the black out. So the matte black did lose a little bit of its pigment, but it is still there. And we can go ahead and go back and define that later. But I'm just going to go ahead and continue to blend. Okay, I do want to let you guys know that also when I swatched this Not a Fact shade, it's very chalky. Like, it feels very dry. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but like, it's, the shades are very ashy. Like, it looks like okay, like it looks decent, but it's just not what I expected, I guess. But it's still there. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and dip into Flaming Hot. Or no. Yeah, I'm gonna dip into Flaming Hot. Flaming Hot is this red shade right here. And I'm just taking this on a blending brush. And I'm gonna blend right above that purple. All right, I don't know if you guys are seeing what I mean, but this red shade is like pretty vibrant. Why am I not getting that vibrancy on my lid? Like it's very light, like it's a very light wash color. There is a lot of fallout. I'm going to go ahead and dip back in and try and deepen that up. Going to go back into Not a Fact to redefine the purple because it's lost. So I'm going to go back in with My Rides Here, which is the black in the palette, and redefine the crease. I'm going to go ahead and use that same concealer, the Jouer one, and Rich Ginger. Take some on the back of my hand and start to cut that crease. Okay, this is what we're looking like with the crease cut. Um, it doesn't look too bad. I did have to go back in though with that black a couple times to get it to um, be as dark as I want it to be. Let me blend that a little bit because it's a little unblended. All right, perfect. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put food videos all over the lid. I'm going to dip right into food videos, which is that neon yellow green, and I'm going to put that all on the lid. A lot of kickback. Okay, so I feel like this is as good as I'm going to get with the green. Super dusty. It gets everywhere. Like this palette it has a lot of kickback and a lot of fallout, so just beware of that. that green shade. It's pretty. It's just you can only do patting motions if you want to get the pigment. I want to go ahead and go in with a white liner. I hope this doesn't look weird. I'm going to use the Morphe one, and this is Blank Slate. Okay, so I did the white liner. So now what I want to do is go ahead and outline the white liner in black. I'm going to be using the Inglot Gel 77 liner, and I'm going to go ahead and just outline that white. I know it looks kind of bad, but I tried. I'm going to go ahead and clean this up, and I'll be right back. Okay, this is what we're looking like. I am back. I went ahead and I cleaned it up, and now I'm just going to pop something on the inner corner. I think I'm going to use Conspiracy. So Conspiracy is this green shade right here. And I'm going to just go ahead and pop that on the inner corner, and I'll be right back. So this is what we are looking like with the Conspiracy side of the face. It worked out a lot better the second time around, I will say that. Yeah, it did work out a lot better the second time, and I don't know if it's because I did a cut crease, and when you're doing a cut crease, you kind of have to pack on the shades. I will say I did use pretty much the darkest shades in the palette, so this is what the darkest shades look like, and yeah, a lot better the second time around. I still don't know if I would recommend it just yet. When I look at the palette and when I feel the palette and when I see all of the kick up, I'm hesitant, but because I love Shane and I love Jeffree, I would want it just because it's a collector's item, because the packaging is everything. So that's why I mainly wanted it. So yeah. Oh, I need to go ahead and pop a highlight shade on the brow bone. Let me do that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and dive into Memory Matte. It's the matte black in the palette. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing that I did on this side by carving out the crease with the black. Okay, this is what we're looking like with the matte memory shade. I will say this, that black right off the bat is way darker than the Conspiracy one. So that's just that. So the next shade that I want to dive into is Poet. And it's like not a fat in Conspiracy because it's that maroon, not a maroon, but like a deep berry shade. And I'm going to use that to blend out the black. So I'm diving right into Story, the matte orange, and then go right above those two. I'm going to go back into Poet, the matte purple, and redefine that. This is what we are looking like on the Tati side. The shades blended out so easy. This is pretty much the look that I did for my first review for her palette. But what I'm going to do is I am going to put the black metallic all over the lid. And then I'm going to put, so what I want to do now is put Memory Metallic all over the lid. So it is this black one, and I'm going to put that all over the lid. Some fallout, but such a pretty shade. So I put Memory Metallic all over the lid. So stunning, literally beautiful. Like, I love it so much. So now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and put a glitter on top, and I'm going to use Aurora glitter. It's this one right here, and I don't know if you guys can tell, but it has like, you guys aren't going to be able to tell what I'm talking about. It has green and like purple and pink reflexes in it. So I'm just going to go in with my finger. And this is what it looks like on the finger. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp that right on top of that metallic shade. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do winged liner on this eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I am back. I went ahead and put some liner on this eye, the Tati Beauty side, popped in Aurora Metallic on the inner corner, and this is what we're looking like. Two completely different looks. So let me go ahead and give my final thoughts and tell you guys what I think. I want to first go ahead and talk about the Tati Beauty Palette. So obviously, I really like the palette. If you watched my other review, I did another cut crease. I loved it. It blended out really nicely. I think it blends out really nicely on this video as well. Looks really good. I am not the huge fan of glitters, only because they get everywhere. So if you really like glitters, you are going to love the Tati palette. It is a little bit messy, but it's not that bad. Damn, I did good. Period. Okay, so moving this. Tati palette, obviously you get the 4 different textures, and I would say this is very dark skin friendly because the bottom matte row, this one, these 3, and the Poet shade all showed up on my skin, and I found that when I tried to deepen them up a little bit, they got even deeper, and they were very workable. And I would say this is also very beginner friendly because they are super easy to blend. Also, the palette itself is very practical. It's nice and thin. It feels like luxurious heavy, but not like overbearingly heavy. So yeah, and the mirror in here is very nice. So I would definitely recommend this, and I would definitely say that this palette is dark skin friendly. Moving on to the conspiracy side. So, as you guys know, I already did a review on the conspiracy palette, and the first review that I did, it did not go well. The shades were not as pigmented as I wanted them to, but I tried a different method today. So what I did was I did a cut crease, obviously, but I also tried just packing them on. So with that being said, they're not that pigmented, and you can get more pigment, but it takes a long time to pack it on. And I wasn't finding that with the Tati palette. So I I found that I had to pack these on a lot, and then once I packed them on a lot, it was hard to blend out because there was so much, I put so much and I felt like it was stuck to that certain spot, so it was hard to blend. Like if you could see that little patch right there, it was hard to blend. But if you take your time and you kind of work at it, you'll get it. Also, with that being said, I did use the darkest shades in the palette. Let's go ahead and take a look at the palette again. So I use the black, I use Not Effect, I use Flaming Hot. Those are all the deepest mattes. And then I used Food Videos, obviously, on the lid. Food Videos was, it's a pretty shade. It's just definitely another shade that you have to work at and pack on and pack on. If you do have a white base, it might be a little bit easier. But with shades like these, I like to have like a cream color that's super close to this and then just pack this right on top. Maybe even like Makeup Forever has a cream palette and it's like all rainbow, and that palette is beautiful. But anyway, we're not talking about Makeup Forever. I'm still not going to say this is dark skin friendly. These shades, these two up here, which is what I tried in my first review, were very light on me. So I would consider myself brown skin, like on the lighter spectrum. And anybody deeper than me, like these mattes are not going to show up. This pink barely showed up on me in my first review, and the orange. I would also say that these two are pressed really hard, and it's hard to kind of get that pigment on the brush. Like I said in my other video though, the shimmers that I tried were amazing. I think that those are Jeffree's normal formula, and they look amazing. But obviously, all in all, the second time around, it looks way better, and I am really enjoying this eye. It's really cool. I tried something different, and yeah, so I know this is a versus video, but I don't really know if I can pick one. For all my dark skin girls, I would definitely say go with the Tati Beauty one because it's a little bit more pigmented and the shades are a little bit more, has more depth. If you are someone that just, if you have shades like that in the Tati Beauty palette already because they are neutrals and you want pops of color, I would definitely say go with the Conspiracy palette. Also if you love Shane Dawson, obviously go with the Conspiracy palette. But for me personally, I would choose the Tati palette. I still obviously going to keep the Conspiracy palette, but I love Shane Dawson, so to me this is a collector's item and a collector's piece. So even though I might not take this out to use all the time, this will stay on like my vanity and my kit because I love the packaging. So if you are someone that is a collector's item, definitely go for this one. But I would say, depending on, weigh out the pros and cons. If you want to get both and you can afford both, get both. Like, it's whatever. But all in all, today was a good makeup day. I'm really enjoying the two eye looks that I created. And yeah. Alright guys, that is it for this video today. If you liked it, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Make sure you guys are always subscribed and make sure your bell notification is on so that way you're notified every time that I am uploading. I am trying to bust out videos as fast as I can and grow and build my channel. Make sure you guys comment down below on looks you want to see from me next. I love taking recommendations, and that is something that I value a lot, your guys' feedback and your honesty. So definitely do that. Comment down below. And I guess that's it. That wraps up this video, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.